welcome to session 6 of Terra, everyone. This session might end up being the conclusion to the prologue. I'm not quite sure yet. It depends how things go. And I'm hoping that you guys can actually use the things that I've given you since the very start of the campaign. Don't show them on camera, please, until the time comes. In terms of like a recap, I'd like to just get a quick piece from each of you in terms of like related to your character, from your character's perspective. Don't be like, oh, this thing happened that my character wasn't even aware of. Like, what's important to your character from last session. So I'm going to start in reverse order. Sophie.
Well, how much do I say?
Just like a brief thing, maybe a sentence or two.
A sentence, okay.
Well, the top thing.
Mr. Eli Frostborn so kindly helped us bring in Sir Ulrich, who then later was knocked out unconscious because of his missing leg, or his dying leg.
Okay. Scott?
Faye and Yen had a moment that I don't know if it got whether it made it into the episode because tech issues. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, that conversation was definitely a part of last episode. Blue, you are not here, so perhaps you could recap something from the session prior.
He was just napping last session.
You're muted.
Of course I was, because I forgot that I'd muted myself. Yeah, I was tired. I had a nice long nap. The thing I remember from the last session I was in was the blob that got loose, and then you had the whole thing with Leah's character getting infected, and then going on the trail all the way to the place that we ended in.
Sam?
So, Maxwell was taking care of Urk, which involved making sure that his necrotic leg was safely removed and, you know, the snake wasn't going to kill him. Let's see what else. He got pranked by a goblin and a bell. That was quite humorous. And then, yeah, he had a spiritual experience with a magical deer in the forest. So yeah, a lot happened for Maxwell.
James?
I think Cedric was mostly just helping with the treatment of Sir Ulrich and witnessed the tiny white snake bite his leg off. So that was probably an experience.
Cool. Ben?
Gregory Silverpart's been hanging out with his homies, you know, learning more about them. They keep trying to ignore him, but he doesn't really get that, so he's hanging out with his friends, having a great time. He did remember the bar episode, and he remembered that the little person at the front desk could have been a pervert. That's what he remembers most.
Besides that, and those things that happened to you guys, towards the end of the session, large amounts of people begin to vacate the premises and make their way outside towards some benches. They're taking some drinks and taking some food in preparation for what appears to be some kind of musical number happening on the main stage.
Oh, look at all them lovely Hero Forge.
So,
Lovely.
between last session and this session, 7 out of 9 of our player characters now have custom Hero Forge miniatures. So you should be able to see now everyone has some very nice individual sculpts. The man at the front of the main stage, in fact, he should probably be standing a little bit forward, with red skin and horns which come to like a sharp point, holds a strange stringed instrument which seems to look similar to like a lute or a lyre or something like that. I suppose it could look like a hurdy-gurdy if that's where you're from, but
It's the strangest looking harp I've ever seen.
there's 2 snake-like humanoids that stand upright, wielding similar instruments. Their models be forgiven. Behind them are seated a series of drums with another huge snake-like humanoid, almost twice the size of the others, appearing to be their stereotypical stupid hulking drummer type. The horned one speaks quietly as a beat kicks in, though his voice can be heard through the entirety of the garden area, and his voice seems to boom almost like he was talking in a very large cavern. The four of them suddenly begin playing aggressive music as the crowd reacts contrastingly. Some people nod or bob their heads, others scream or shout along to the lyrics. Meanwhile, some of the other patrons decide to make their way back into the establishment, where the music is a bit quieter than not. Seemingly fans of this kind of music and the loud volume. Drinks and food and all varieties of snacks and goods are passed around and enjoyed by all throughout the night, particularly those of a recreational kind. You begin to notice. If there is anything that anyone would like to do at this point as this music kicks in, go for it.
Yen's gonna start moving to the back of the crowd, suddenly realizing that this is not her situation, her ideal situation.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to do anything? You guys watch as Yen kind of recoils and steps back a bit. Reggie, by all means, move yourself forwards towards the front. You see a whole bunch of people that are kind of gathering in some sense. The area, to be fair, is quite wide and quite open, so you don't feel crowded at all. Like it's more of like a garden party type thing, just in like a larger space. It's quite weird. It doesn't match modern levels of crowd, if that makes sense.
Well, Cedric will call out somewhat loudly, given the background of. So where do we go from here?
Well, if you remember, the last thing that we were told to do is that we were told to meet up with at the Ulstrux Academy.
Ulstrux Academy, yes.
Yes, they said that they would have they would potentially be able to understand why we ended up in that forest in the first place.
As that's my interest too, and if there is danger involved, then they're the people to go to.
Yes. Plus, I also think they'll probably be able to help us out with some of our predicaments, and he gestures over to Ulrich and the fact that his leg is still fucking missing.
Well, I suppose we head out in the morning then.
Yes, that seems like the best idea. But now, just I guess enjoy the revelry.
It seems so.
You guys watch as Trinken begins to make his way away from the main group, and being one of nature and stuff, begins to make his way through the crowd towards the large tree. Ulrich's new snake companion seems to be negatively reacting to the loud noise, and begins to retreat into his top, and just kind of like snuggles in his top as he's sat there.
Michael's gonna sit there and just enjoy the music.
Okay. Someone does actually come up to you, and begins to open up a coat, and then gestures to the inside of his coat. You want to buy something? It might spice up the experience a bit.
Oh,
Thank you, sir.
Is this? Are you trying to sell us recreational drugs?
Are you trying to buy some recreational drugs?
No, I'm just trying to understand the situation. This hasn't really happened to me before.
No, okay, I am not offering you recreational drugs at all then. Good day, have a nice evening, and I'll be catching you all after the event. And he walks off.
Have a good evening, sir. And he just waves him away.
I think he was.
He seemed quite a nice drug dealer.
Sophie, as you walked over to this.
No, I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to move my damn character.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like you can move your character as much as you want.
The trap card.
There is no.
He is floating for me.
There is no traps or anything bad like that. But just like as you're walking past, you notice that this character here. She seems to be plucking away at something. Seems to be kind of struggling, and the sound that she's putting out it's kind of garbage. She's getting a bit frustrated as you kind of walk past.
She's playing music as there's already music playing.
You get the impression that she's trying to play along. She's trying to get the beat, and she's trying to play what they're playing, but she's fumbling a lot and really not good at it at all.
Well, we've all been there.
Food begins to make its way around the tables and stuff.
This is the apple lady I was telling you guys about last time.
Last session, yeah. Let's see if I can get some food stuff for you guys.
This is for Blue. If you look straight down at her, you can only see half the bowl of apples.
And you see that she's got like a kind of a cart in front of her that she's pushing, and she says, "Anything from the cart, dears? Anything?"
What are the chances that it's drugs again?
You can make an insight check if you want.
No, Gregory.
If there's like kind of like a bowl of nuts or something like that, Cedric will buy one for the table.
Yeah, a bowl of nuts. What do we have on the menu? Sure, these could be nuts. It's not really.
That sort of doesn't have to specifically be nuts, but kind of just a light table snacky thing.
Yeah. So she kind of passes you a basket of fruit and nuts.
Big basket.
I've got some chicken, some pie. I've got some tomatoes. I've got some bread. I've got some soup if you want. I've got some pastries. Any of this take your fancy, loves?
Do you have anything with let's see, do you have anything caffeine related? I'm still trying to. I've been up for quite some time, and I'm just trying to keep myself awake.
Caffeine. I'm afraid.
Caffeinated.
I'm afraid that substance is very expensive at the moment due to things going on between Albion and Zamiria. So, unfortunately, no, we don't have any caffeine. What I could do you is a nice kind of fruit juice, if that helps, or I could get my colleague to get you some alcohol, if that helps.
Do you have any pear juice?
Pear juice. Oh, let's have a look. I've got apple juice. Is that close enough for you?
Sure.
Cool. Okay. And then she just like passes you like a little bottle thing.
Sounds like we're getting fruity this evening.
Anyone else? I've got some pies. I've got a nice flan. I've got some dumplings. And she kind of looks over Faye and just says, "Are you hungry? You look a little bit underweight. Do you want some chicken?" Here, love.
I can.
Just take some chicken, and she literally just like drops like a whole fucking fat bird on the table.
You planned that. That's why you had to drop that chicken.
Faye's just gonna look around, pick the whole thing up, like not even rip a leg off, just pick the whole thing up and look around like.
Take a huge bite out of it. It's not even chicken. It's like a whole fucking turkey.
It's just
tries to unhinge their jaw just to try to shove it down.
Imagine like you tried. You just end up with that episode of Mr. Bean where he gets a turkey stuck on his head for like half the episode.
Oh yeah.
and then obviously she realizes what she's doing and goes, "Oh no, I'm gonna be punished for this." Just
there's a couple moments that go by, and then someone else comes by and drops some beverages on the table and stuff, and so you guys can have food and drink.
How much will this set us back?
Oh, it's all part of the cost of the ticket, so you can eat and drink as much as you like, provided you've basically paid for your ticket. I think. You're the lot that came in last night, right?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
Oh, okay. I think I heard mention that you're covered by Eli, so I guess speak to him about it at some point. Don't worry about it. And she just kind of like carries on and walks off to like another table, starts doing her rounds and stuff. Anything else? Anyone want to do anything else?
Nah, Reggie's just kind of enjoying the music at the front.
Okay.
He's like, ooh, new, shiny, this seems nice.
it's an interesting band of rattlesnakes.
Yes.
Is that the name of the band, the Rattlesnakes?
They are 1T, not rattlesnakes. But yeah. So
1T and the Conspirators.
their band, like, you do actually see a banner, like on like two banners on like the front of the stage, and it says Carter Diablos and the 1T Purebloods.
Is there a merch stand?
Fucking good question. You look around, no merch stand. You kind of get the impression that like that there's actually everyone just make like a perception check for me. Just and if you're like at all kind of musically inclined, I don't think anyone here is, but like
Musically inclined, but musically challenged.
In what sense?
in a sense, like, is your character going to end up being a bard at some point? Yes or no?
After this, it might be tempting.
Or if you have
I
like
rolled
any
an
background, if your
Did you
character's
say perception?
perception, yeah. If your character's ever like taken piano lessons or something like that, for the nobles among you, that may well be a thing that may have happened
8.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, much.
So, did anyone get like a 15 or higher?
I rolled a 19.
Okay. So Faye kind of listens out to the music, and you kind of get this sense that, yeah, the music's good, and you're kind of digging it, but there's something about it that seems it could just be the style or the way that they're playing it, but it just seems a little bit novice. It seems a bit, it's not masterful and like layered and quite as deep as perhaps some other artists and things that you may have heard during your past.
So hardcore punk then.
Yeah. But
which isn't a slight. I love hardcore.
But it hits hard. The lyrics have meaning. The beat is thumping. Like it gets your juices flowing, and you kind of look at the banner and stuff, and you can tell, that's homemade. Like there's
homemade.
Like there's a certain level here where like they're playing things up a bit. Like they're pretending to be rock stars at this point. Like they're not quite at that level.
Hey, but fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah.
Make it.
Who else got above a 15? A 15 or higher? No?
I don't think any of us did.
I saw Gregory rolled something.
No, that was I tried to lead some dice.
Okay, fair.
Oh, sorry.
Although
I did take piano.
You did? Okay, roll again then.
Under the assumption this probably isn't the type of music that Cedric might have been introduced to.
Yeah. So what's your total? So 17 plus or minus perception?
Oh Jesus. Let's just go with 17 for now, right?
Yeah, sure. So you yourself also listen to it, and you can tell that if you were to think about playing some piano right now, there's flourishes and certain notes and things that can be hit in places, whereas this is a bit more basic. This is a bit more of just like a bass line, and then like a basic guitar rhythm, and then you've also got some actually the percussion. The percussion is what stands out as like the fucking highlight quite a lot in quite a lot of these music pieces. There's points where the drum player has like a fucking solo and just completely fucking goes off on one.
Change. Usually the drum player's the joke, but
yeah, true. You get suddenly, James, your character is poisoned.
Nice.
Basically, there's going to be a time of like 4 hours or so, which if you guys want to do anything in that time while this is going on, go for it. Like put your hand up, do whatever. Yes.
I just want to put my hand up because you said put my hand up or whatever.
Oh,
Okay,
that's weird. The base items animate the same as your guy does.
I have a question.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Question. I have an answer.
That tree is near the stage, correct?
Yep.
Is it possible to climb the tree?
Let me just move Duda over there because that's where he was going.
no, it's the giant two-headed troll.
Yes, there is a giant two-headed troll, or ogre, I think. It's probably more of an Etin, to be fair.
Shall now name these Gary and Steve. Or Gary and Barry.
Sophie, so you were gonna go over to the tree where Trinken is, right?
I was going to try and climb the tree to get a view, like an upward view.
As you begin to move over to this tree, you see that there is a small cluster of people, creatures, things that seem to be under the kind of shade of the tree, and they're kind of watching the music as well, or listening to the music, but they're kind of just on their own, in their own little group. And then behind them, actually at the base of the tree, you can see a woman just seems to be on her knees, touching the roots of the tree, and seems to be talking either to herself or the tree. You're not quite sure. Anything you want to do based on that?
Well, she looks like she's busy, so I'm not going to bother her.
Okay.
If there's any way that's like there's a low branch out of her way, or unless the branches start like way up.
They do start way up. It's a huge fucking tree.
Okay. Then
But-
I'm just gonna stand by the tree and out of everyone's way.
Okay. She looks over to you and makes some kind of eye contact. Bearing in mind that the area around this tree is extremely overgrown. Like the grass is like 6 foot tall. So you're having to kind of like, it's like pushing through a cornfield. Like you're having to like actually make way.
Oh, well, that's perfect. And I'll just make a little nest in this grass, like snuggle.
Okay. All right. Anyone else want to do anything? No. Okay.
They're just unwinding.
All right. So as you guys mingle and go about your business and do different things, the music continues into the night. The crowd slowly begins to thin in places as people begin to leave the venue entirely to go back to their homes or wherever, or some make their way over towards tents. You see that a couple people do actually kind of pair up, seemingly mixing from other groups, perhaps hooking up for the night, or perhaps just making new friends, that kind of fun stuff that you do at rock gigs.
Oh, they be fucking.
A plethora of fade to black.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing to watch from an external view. It's a couple people just fading to black.
Yeah.
It's the cloud.
We're at the wrong band for Fade to Black.
As the kind of music begins to quiet down towards the end, the vibe starts to become a lot more casual. The main event has kind of subsided at this point, and people are getting a bit sleepy, a bit more chill. You're gonna have to just ignore the number of people that are here. There's maybe 10% of this amount of people here, but I'm not gonna sit there and start hiding everyone or moving them. It's gonna take forever. The band begins to invite anyone remaining in the crowd to play along with them. Either come on stage or just play where they are. They're inviting collaboration. And you do notice the orcish looking figure on the table behind has a very excited expression on their face at this offer. However, that expression is immediately followed by a lowering of their head as they suppress that urge, almost out of shame or embarrassment. Their grip around their loot that they're holding gets tighter and tighter as they kind of crawl within themselves a bit.
Faye just sort of wrapped up in this weird energy of, well, metal gigs, basically. Just looks at her, grabs her wrist, and just drags her up.
Okay.
Goes, all right, let's go.
Do you wanna move your character over towards that table just behind you, if I can? So just this table here.
Yeah.
And how do you just straight up like steamroll up towards them, no words, and just grab them, or do you say something during your approach?
Just a click. Come on, let's go.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check. Not perception check. Persuasion check. Sorry.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
I think she's good at this. Yeah.
Scott, Faye is teleported to the front already, so perhaps we should bring the.
Just bear with a sec. I want to see if he can convince her to.
Yeah. I am clicking you. Why are you not? Alright, fuck you. I know I've got a +2, so. Okay, so that's a dirty 20.
Okay, alright. Definitely manages to. She definitely blushes and seems to pull back at you grabbing her, this stranger that she's never spoken to before. But
even internally, Faye's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But there is definitely a part of her that just seems to go on autopilot. Just seems to relinquish control over to you and just lets you guide her. And yeah, so she follows you up towards the stage. Does anyone else amongst the party wish to join or do anything else at this point?
Gregory is interested in what's going to happen, so he's going to just check it out. He'll move a little bit closer.
Okay.
Maxwell's gonna sit and drink his apple juice, and we'll see how this goes down.
Yeah, Reggie would have got hungry, but his plan is probably come over here snacking.
Okay.
Cedric will stay with Maxwell, kind of probably light conversation.
Cool.
It's like kind of the group so far. I think Maxwell's probably the one Cedric's had the most in contact with.
Yeah. With the medical stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
And Yen?
So friendship points +1.
Yeah.
Yen has learnt that the grass she just sat in is a little moist.
That's the
Yeah.
Oh no.
You do
They have a
actually.
big wet spot on their ass.
You do actually get quite a heavy hint that quite a lot of people are going over towards the thick grass, and towards like the tree lines and stuff.
I meant with you, but okay.
Well, yeah, I'm expanding on your information that you have provided.
Great.
It's due.
Let him yes and.
So, does Faye go onto stage, or does she just take her to the steps and just kind of
She'll
push
go
her?
on stage with her. But she's not the sort of person to go, "Oi, you come with me." I mean, she's not really the sort of person to do that anyway. But when she does, she's not going to just leave them in the dirt. Just like, all right, have fun.
Okay. So I've moved you up
She'll
to.
go up.
I've moved you up to stage, and at this point, as you're kind of up on the stage, and you're seeing this gentleman, I'll say, up close, you look into his eyes, which you couldn't really see before, but his eyes, they're this dark pool of black, except for his pupil, which is a searing white, almost like a polar opposite as to what a normal eye would be. and he just looks at you with his goatee beard and his swept to the side hair and his long pointy horns, and just kind of smiles.
Ask him his name, I dare you.
I mean, surely it's. No, I'm not going to make that joke. I've already made it once, technically.
And he says, "So, have you got any instruments, or you want to give some of ours a go?" And the lady next to you, she kind of, she's unsure, and she gestures to around her waist, almost like a satchel. She's got a drum, like a over the shoulder strap with a drum, and then she looks at in her hand and she's got a lute.
Do they have a triangle?
No, they don't.
Oh,
No,
damn.
this is a punk band, not a prog band.
Yeah.
You never know.
Still the Middle Ages.
So they're a bit unsure, and they say, I think I'll just stick with my own for now. And he's like, all right, whatever suits you. What about you, little one?
How are they projecting their voice? Is it just magic?
At this point, no. They're talking to you directly. The thaumaturgy stuff from before.
So they were using thaumaturgy for the whole
For the act, yeah,
Okay.
so that they can
Okay.
amplify. But
Unfortunately, Faye doesn't have that, but it's a smaller, technically, crowd, so I don't think that would be as needed. So I up one of these strange stringed contraptions
okay,
and go, I've always kind of wanted to try something, especially after tonight.
okay. So you see the lead in front of you.
Yeah.
You should be able to see it on his character mini, but yeah, he's got what is essentially like a deep dark black electric guitar, with metal strings and all that, and the two guitarists either side, they've got similar, but they're bigger, and they, as a result, they have a more of a bassy tone. They're basically like cellos, just like fucking guitars, which is really weird. And then you've got like the drum kit guy in the background, and then you've literally just got what is basically a giant constrictor rattlesnake, which just is basically the maraca.
Yeah. Yeah, just have a look at the. Well, it's basically a electric guitar. It's like,
Yep.
could I ever go on that? Please?
He looks at you and he says, "Why not?" And just like thrusts the electric guitar into your hands.
Yeah.
Don't
take-
fucking drop it.
I won't. They'll take it. Just give the Orcish woman a polite nod.
Okay.
Clear her throat, and before she starts to start, belting something out, whether it's good or not. What do we call ourselves? Ghost Cube?
Ghost Cube.
That's another band reference that no one's gonna get.
No, sorry.
This devil character reminds me of Dave Grohl from the Tenacious D music video.
Yeah.
Yeah. This character in particular is like a weird mix of Frank Carter and a mix of kind of Dave Grohl as Beelzebub, as you said.
Challenge him to a rock off.
Yeah. If you fucking want to, fucking do it. Like that challenge would be fucking snatched up.
So that will be
With a different character, I would. For now, I should just play myself.
I always
That's
get really
it.
suspicious when Rowan's describing
I've dropped that into-
a red tiefling-like character.
I've dropped the album into the bot spam channel.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
You okay to play that, James?
Yeah, but I'll go grab it.
Thanks, James.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't hear it, you're gonna have to explain it to me.
Yeah, it's sort of quite it's still heavy, but it's quite a technical in some places vibe.
Okay.
You're gonna try and make the punk band play prog.
It's not prog. I did think about it, but you know, it was either this band or a band called Sleep Token. So I was like, So
Okay.
it's like, yeah, seeing as I made the Ghost Cube joke.
He
This is important. It should be done in a moment, hopefully.
Okay. He picks up another guitar. This one's a bit more acoustic that he's got as like his backup. And he begins to tune it and stuff like that. Yeah, so he begins to tune it up and he begins to start playing a rhythm. The woman next to you, they actually introduce themselves to you at this point. They kind of lean in closer to your ear as they start playing this rhythm, and they say, "My name's Zathrya Ear Bleeder," and they begin to play, and they begin to attempt to play this song. For this, I'm going to just say that she is the one trying to play this track. Like this music that you've put in the music bot, she's the one that's trying to like facilitate this. Because this would not be Carter's like thing. Like he's playing his own shit or he's playing no one else's.
Yeah.
But he's gonna play along. So I would like you to make a performance check, or like an intelligence check to try and learn. Because I'm assuming, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming this is the first time that she's played an instrument.
Yes.
And you're rolling this with disadvantage.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't that 20.
Okay.
Okay.
Holy shit!
That's still a total of 19.
Oh shit. Okay. So I'm gonna have Zathrya roll as well. Oh, perfect. The purple dice. It's not going to be that high, and definitely not as good as you. And she starts to play down some rhythm, and the rest of Diablos' band, they begin to pick it up, recognize it, and begin to throw it down, and they begin to play it like near perfect. And then you come in. Start tuning up, start kind of picking up a few chords and things like that. And for a beginner, someone that's like never played, both Carter, Diablos, and Zathrya begin to kind of look over at you like, how long have you been playing?
First time?
And they both kind of look at each other. Okay. They start to ramp it up. At this point, I'd like Diablos kind of like steals a bit, and like raises his hand, and the rest of his band stops playing, and Zathrya sees that as well, and she starts to slow down the beat. She keeps the beat going in the background, but Diablos looks at you and intently just starts playing like a solo.
Oh no.
Would you like to throw one back?
Yeah, sure.
He's trying to get an understanding as to like who the fuck you are. This
Still
cat in
rolling
rags.
disadvantage?
Oh yeah, definitely. You're not proficient in this at all. It's like your first time doing it.
No, yeah.
And what up, me on my own
Okay,
show?
that's a total of a 16.
With disadvantage.
Yeah, I rolled a 16 and a 12 with a +4 performance.
Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna roll for him. He doesn't get advantage or anything, but he does get a straight roll. I can't access their character sheets, so this is fucking infuriating. D&D Beyond, why do you curse us? He sees you actually like starting to kind of outplay him a little bit, and then he just like he puts his head down and focuses, and then you just see his hands and fingers just moving at a pace that you can't fucking understand. And it just starts playing this like absolutely fucking wicked solo. But you managed to kind of listen to it. If you're not quite sure if it's your keen ears or perhaps your nimble fingers, perhaps a combination of the two, but you begin to come back in and you start to fucking copy him. You start to copy him to the point where you miss a couple notes here and there, but you manage to do a damn fine job to the point where he stops and just lets you play.
Just
in fact, I'm not sure. If anyone can tell me this, I can't access D&D Beyond. If Thaumaturgy can be cast on someone else.
I was about to ask the same thing.
Yeah. I had a feeling
So
you
just
were
like
from
the
before.
How does one spell thaumaturgy?
I like the idea of Faye trying to pick up guitar at first and then going, I can try and sing a thing. I'm good at this. Let's multitask.
Thaumaturgy is THAUM. Something.
Range is 30 feet. Does specify your voice and things like that, but I'm sure you could say it works.
Sure. I mean,
Say it. The DM, you've got god powers.
So
We don't need no rules.
instead of like
You make your own destiny.
instead of like a thaumaturgy or anything like that, he instead speaks a command word into the guitar, and you see the guitar, the strings begin to like glow this kind of bright red color with like a white hot intensity, and at that moment your fingers begin to burn. You can feel that these strings are excruciatingly hot, but he says, keep playing. If you keep playing, it's gonna be fucking sick. And he steps back, and he with his booming voice, and he says, "Oi, cunts! You fucking listen to this chick, yeah? She's fucking baller." And he just fucking commands everyone's fucking attention, and turns you around to face the crowd. And at this point, everyone's fucking eyes are on Faye. Please roll a performance check without disadvantage. So it's just a straight roll.
You
What
fucking
is something
brought
bad happened?
You brought another woman on stage to have her perform, and then you just outperformed her.
Like, Faith seems secretly a bit awful now, but that was a total of an 18.
No, she started playing with you, right?
Holy shit!
No, she's just playing. She's just playing a quiet beat, like a backing beat.
Yeah, but
behind.
it's together, and that's what she wanted. So I don't think she's getting too shamed.
So
Just dropped everything in charisma.
as you're playing this, your voice isn't affected or anything like that, but your guitar, you start to get this basically like a synthy sound coming from the guitar as you're playing it, and you start shredding. You don't know what it is about you, but you're just feeling it. And he's like, shit, we've got a fucking prodigy on our hands, boys. And the snakes in the background are just like in agreement.
Happy snake hisses.
And at that point, Zathrya tries to come back in and tries to join you in her playing. She's gonna start playing on her lute. Oh, okay, yeah. She rolled a natural 19 plus any performance bonuses. So she starts to come in and starts to join you as well. She's playing a different beat to you and a different rhythm, and you begin to pass it off to her, and she begins to take it and begins to play this beat, which is slower, but it's got a weird commanding presence about it that's got some emotion behind it. And you see that as she's playing, and she kind of looks you in the eyes, and there's just like this little tear that just goes down her cheek.
Did you just fantasy recreate the band Heart? Barracuda.
She begins to quietly just kind of cry a little bit as she's just kind of head banging along, and her purple hair is just kind of swaying all over the place, and she's just getting into it with you, and she throws it back to you. And there's a few moments where you guys are kind of having this kind of symbiotic duet moment with between the two of you, having some kind of emotional bond with a stranger that you've never met before on a musical level. And at this point, some of the crowd does begin to come back in, and they begin to come out and like, oh shit, it's kind of heating up a bit. Can you please just make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh no! What have you done? What have you done? You monster!
You done goofed.
That's a 5.
Yeah. So this searing pain in your fingers, as the beat slows down and your fingers are spending a longer time on the strings, your fingertips are beginning to get burnt, and you're really struggling to keep it going. I would also like you to make a wisdom save based on being in the spotlight, in relation to your background. It's not really something that your character would be used to.
Yeah.
She don't have the calluses on her fingers yet.
So your wisdom save?
That's a nat 1.
Yeah. So as this burning sensation begins to settle into your fingers, you suddenly begin to realize whether it's you're beginning to sober up, or you're beginning to wake up to like the situation that you're in, your chest begins to tighten, your breath begins to shorten quite a lot, and you can feel like I don't know if you've ever felt it, but like you can, depending on how you're feeling, you might be able to feel like your heartbeat in the back of your neck, like just like this throbbing, like pulsing sensation, as you begin to tense up and begin to kind of recoil in on yourself. And what would you immediately do? You're feeling like, oh fuck, I need to not be here right now. What do you do?
Yeah. Faye will look down for a moment. Take the guitar off from around her neck, hand it back, and immediately just... Maybe not immediately, probably also have a glance at the poor individual she stole the spotlight from. Smile to her. Offer up like a hug or a fist bump or something. But before she can, receive it, just leg it. Just,
as
it's like one of those like awkward like handshake fist bump things that you don't know what you're doing, so it changes partway through.
Yeah, it's like
Like
so there is a... How do I explain this? As you're just kind of handing over this this guitar, the enchantment fades from it. The strings calm down, but you look out the corner of your eye as if you were to like fist bump or something Zathrya, and she looks at you almost with like a immediate recognition as to what's going on in your head. I'm gonna have a trip on an insight check as well. And she throws her lute over her back and literally just like puts an arm around you and walks you back off stage. Whereabouts are you going to? I can't even see where your model is. Oh, you just off stage, but near the front.
Yeah. I mean, if she's following me, probably just go back to where we were. Back to our table before.
Yeah. Okay, she'll go with you back to your table. I'll move you over there now.
So I imagine after a while, even that's going to be a bit much, because a lot of people saw that.
Yeah.
You get back to the table and Master go, Faye, that was quite an incredible performance. I didn't know you were musically inclined.
Nor did I.
It was bloody amazing, though.
Perhaps prodigious.
I don't know what that means, but thank you, I think.
As in, of a prodigy. Excellence without training.
That's it. Oh, thank you.
My parents made me take like several months of piano lessons, and I was nowhere near as good as that.
To those of you that were listening, you do get the sense that it is a extremely untrained sound. There's fumbling, loads of fumbling in different places, but she was able to pull off chords to some extent. Definitely a beginner level type stuff, not by any means Mozart or anything like super fucking high class, but you were able to surprise everyone, and that's the thing, you were able to perform above your estimations, and it felt good. You felt like you were doing an amazing job, but it's still untrained, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say like you're suddenly like a fucking absolute genius at something that you've never done. It's just
well done, level 20 bard.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, you got nowhere to go, right?
Yeah.
And Zathrya kind of joins you at the table and kind of wipes across her eye, and just says, "That was amazing. I don't think I've ever been able to have as much confidence as that in my playing. Thank you."
Anytime, you were incredible.
I mean, says you. You now that you get a closer look at this person, you see that their form is they've got a green skin. They've got pointed ears. They do have some kind of orcish heritage, but their teeth have been, like their tusks, if they had any, have been filed off or removed in some fashion, so they've basically got human teeth. And you see, could I just have everyone make a quick perception check? Targeted at this person. Someone rolled on that one.
That was not much better.
Well,
oh shit, okay. Scott, man. Rolling high all day.
I got an 18.
Okay.
I rolled a 16, but I'm not anywhere near.
So those of you that rolled,
I'm just focused on drinking my apple juice.
those of you that rolled a 15 or
Engaged in good
higher,
conversation.
those of you that rolled 15 or higher, you notice that their form, yeah, it's feminine in ways, but there's definitely something under there that's masculine.
Like a penis?
You can't quite tell. There's just something about their bone structure, their height, their build, and
Like not a miniskirt with a bulge. Because that's what I was thinking when you started. You're like, they're feminine, but then there's something masculine. Something just poking out.
no,
Okay.
there is no bulge. But yeah, you get the idea that this person used to be a man. Used to be male, at least. And are at the very least feminine presenting in some fashion. They have boobs, and their crotch does not have a bulge, but there's just something about the way that they're built that seems quite masculine. They have hair which at its roots is like a violet purple, and on its ends is like jet black. Their eyes are also a violet purple. They have scars all over their body in places. Though to be fair, they are pretty much entirely covered up, except for cleavage window, and the neck up, and their hands. Though you do whenever they kind of roll up a sleeve or anything like that, you can see that there are scars on their forearms and stuff like that. Throughout the rest of the night, they begin to tell you of how they tried to get into music, and they've been struggling since they started. They just can't seem to perform as well as they want, and they're not quite sure why. They explain how they used to have a gift for it, and ever since their change, something happened. It seems like they traded their body for their talent. They explain how they are a member of the Adventurers Guild, and they do also study at Sherlock's Academy. Their behavior, when they're not being solemn and quite sad, they can be quite crass and brash, if a little bit annoying and overly outgoing and careless at times. Towards the end of their discussion and stuff like that, they actually kind of, it's almost like they switch personalities from being this very withdrawn person to this very outgoing, like, let's go get a drink, and like try to particularly with Faye, try to get Faye to engage in some kind of activity that perhaps might make her a bit uncomfortable. She explains how due to her music and due to her change, she was disowned by her Orcish clan. They were not okay with her practicing her music, particularly because she post change is fucking terrible, and there is a reason why she was dubbed the nickname Ear Bleeder. But she hopes that one day she may be able to regain pride amongst her clan, though maybe not be able to call it home again. You do see around her neck a necklace with a bunch of ears on it,
Very.
severed, and you do see that on her drum there is also a bunch of ears around the rim of the drum.
Previous boyfriends.
She explains that these are the ears of those that outwardly and openly express their dislike for her music. Explaining that
That's one way to take criticism.
she explains that it's not something that she's entirely proud of, but she just can't control herself sometimes. Some kind of primal rage comes over her, and she has to satiate that rage by one means.
Reggie wants to go kind of disappear and look at the metal cylinder that he currently has that he hasn't looked at yet.
Yep. You do see that there are some like half-empty goblets and cups and things, if you fancy stealing someone's drink.
Drink 'em.
Rather not drink someone else's drink.
What do you wish to do, good sir?
Examine it to see kind of like what is on it, and if there's any like symbols or engravings and stuff.
Okay. So, bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. I think it's caught up now. Let me move the camera over here. So, go ahead and make like an investigation check. If I'm assuming
14.
that's what you're kind of going for. So 14. Yeah. You take a closer look at this metallic cylinder, and it's roughly around 4 inches in diameter. So it's kind of thick. I think it would be about that in thickness. I think that's about 4 inches, like this, from side to side. And it's about 10 inches long, so it's about this long. I think that's 10 inches. This is me being a very bad man, overestimating. Yes, this is 10
That's
inches.
10 inches.
Yeah. So it's about that size in diameter. And you look at it closely, and you got a 14, right? You said.
Yes.
You kind of look at it, and you can just about tell that there's some kind of like sliding parts that seem to be interlocking in ways, but they're airtight. If you didn't like fiddle with it, it would practically be imperceptible, except for like a hairline line around it. And you begin to fiddle, and you can see that on these rings that are around the length of this thing, there are actually some kind of markings. Can you make what would be like a language check? Like intelligence, I think, right? Just straight up intelligence.
Yeah, I suppose.
11.
Okay. What languages do you speak? Or
Common and Dwarvish.
Read, alright. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you've figured that this is Dwarvish that's on this.
Okay.
Just a whole bunch of random letters on it. The ends themselves that don't seem to have any kind of particular interest on them. It's just it would be a perfect cylinder if it weren't for the markings on it and the fact that it has spinny bits.
So is it like a Da Vinci Code thing to where it's got spinny bits with letters and symbols on it?
It's a Da Vinci thing, yes, but minimalistic. Just imagine like a steel rod, but it's like...
Yeah, steel rod, spinny bits with letters and that.
Yeah.
As he looks around it, is it just letters?
Dwarvish, yeah.
Dwarvish letters.
You do see that there are 7 rows, I believe. No, wait,
So
6,
7 rows
sorry.
of... Is there any kind of markings that show you're meant to line up something on the ends?
No. Oh wait, sorry. So as in like a where you need to line up a code or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, there would be like 2 little like notches that basically say enter password here.
So I'm guessing letters, 6 rows, which means it's going to be a word. But it's in Dwarvish, but I can read Dwarvish. Can he just try different words that he may know that may be linked to
Sure.
family, other stuff? I'm trying to think of actual words that can fit. As I'm
Big
also
friend.
I was just thinking the same.
Yeah. So just tell me words that you want to try.
That's why I'm just bringing something
Do you want me to leave you to come up with a list and then come back to you?
Yes, that may be best.
Yep. Okay. Cool. I'm glad you're finally fiddling with this thing. That's good.
I just kind of, as the music stuff was going on, I was just like, shit, the cylinder!
What is everyone else's passive perception except for Yen and Reggie?
12.
12.
We're still having a good chat. Nothing else matters.
11.
Do I have to roll or just tell you what my plus is?
No, the passive. So it'll be on the left hand side. You have like passive skills next to your languages.
Oh, mine's 11. Yeah.
Okay, so the highest was 12, yeah? So those of you that have a 12, you begin to notice throughout the event, actually, while you guys were having a chat and stuff, Maxwell's bag is kind of writhing about a whole bunch.
Maxwell, your satchel.
What? Oh! That's... is not going to open it.
Okay.
He instead is going to... Basically, he's going to, like, feel around to see if he can still feel, like, the glass, like, around on the outside of the fabric to see if he can, like, feel the glass jar and if it's still closed.
Sure. Make a either perception or investigation check.
Cool. No. Fuck me. That's a nat one.
So
it is a bag.
So I will say that you do feel that there's no squish, like there's no squish in there at all, and you begin to feel that everything seems in order. But then as you begin to like poke around, you hear a ting as the hinge undoes.
Uh-oh.
And then you hear like a little as it pushes its way out of the bag, and
shit.
It oh, my mouse is asleep. It crawls under the table and then up Gregory's leg.
Oh, Maxwell is diving at that little fucker again.
Sure. Make you're in pursuit of it. You could either make an attack roll with an object or something to like bat it away, or you could like attempt to catch it by using like a grapple check or something.
I'll try and grapple it.
Okay, make so it would just be athletics check, but due to its slippery nature, you get disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Oh boy, I have a +0, so I'll just roll 2 die. As we know, I'll just roll 2.
Oh.
Yep. That one.
So you feel for a second like, you feel like you've managed to grab hold of it in some fashion, but it immediately slips forth from your fingers. And not only that, but you fucking headbutt the bench. Please roll.
Damn it!
Please roll a d4.
-1 end.
Oh fuck.
So you rolled a 2. So the rest of you watch as Maxwell does this. He fucking like full on headbutts this bench in front of him and falls immediately unconscious.
Oh Christ.
Wait, what?
Ben, you're not having the best of luck with this, are you?
You just tripped over and knocked yourself out.
So
what?
Mechanically, Sam, you're unconscious for 2 minutes as you've just KO'd yourself.
Oh my god.
No, don't set a timer because it's roleplay takes forever.
So the slime is still out and crawling up Gregory.
Yeah, so it's climbing up Gregory's leg, over the top of his clothing, and you actually hear as it's kind of going up, it's making like little like noises.
Well, Gregory would like to roll to freak out, please.
Is that like you want to roll to see how well you freak out? So you want to roll a performance check, or do you want to roll to see if you freak out, which would be a wisdom save?
Oh Jesus.
both.
The last time this thing tried to crawl in my mouth and kill me. So I'm gonna roll for performance, please.
Sure, go for it. Cool.
That's not a very good performance.
Imagine a prepubescent teenager that, or not prepubescent, mid-pubescent teenager who is currently undergoing the part of their puberty where their voice is still finding its drop, and
kind of like a. Like one of those. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
A loud voice crack happens.
Yeah.
You were a bit too good at that.
What, yeah, I think Ron nailed this, to be honest.
And it begins to make its way into your pocket, into your pants pocket.
I'm standing up at the table, and it's crawling into my pocket now.
And you do hear
Is it trying to get into my trousers again?
You do hear the little noises coming from it, like inside your pocket.
Someone made a mess in their trousers.
I don't know. Ron makes it sound really cute when he goes like that, but I'll be quiet.
Is everyone else just watching this happen?
Reggie's not paying attention.
Yeah, Reggie's
Even
busy.
I'm trying to figure out words here. Like, come on.
I don't know what to do. It's not trying to kill me anymore, which is, well, it's in my pockets.
Cedric's kind of doing a confused, like his hands up, like a slight warmth coming, but going like,
Oh, you're gonna burn us? Well,
Dude, just fucking sacred flames of jelly, just.
boom. It becomes like.
so it's like getting ready to, but now it's crawled into his pocket. Now he's just confused.
Okay, Fez.
Like I could try, but I'm just gonna hit you.
So here's the question: how much does your character care about their penis right now?
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
You do actually feel like there is a bit of like a cold sensation, just in your around the side of your waist where your pocket is. Anyone else gonna do anything?
Cedric will grab the jar from the bag and give it to Gregory and just hold it open over the pocket or something so that when it comes out it goes into it. But I don't know what else we can do while it's in your pocket.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll hold the
And
jar
then we'll.
open. Can I try and roll to coax him out of there? Like,
How would you like to try to coax him out?
Like, so you know if there's a spider, right, on the wall, and you're like, okay, so I don't want the spider to get anywhere in my house. So what you do is you take your little jar and you put it right over the little of the spider, right in the center.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do the same thing, but on my leg.
Okay.
Like over the whole of the pocket, just right there.
Sure. I mean, this is gonna be a dexterity check.
Oh Jesus, that's not too good, right?
Nah, I'm not sure your dexterity is that high.
My dex is +0, so no. That's
Yes.
not supposed to be like that.
So you attempt to do it, but you just kind of like smoosh it. Being a jelly, you do manage to cover some of it, but like the rest of it just kind of smooshes out from the pocket and like around you, and then it just begins to squeeze its way. The rest of its body that's currently in the jar squeezes its way out as it begins to crawl up your chest.
Oh Jesus.
Very slow, I might add. At this point, it is extremely slow, as it's just like kind of crawling up, very slowly like this up your chest.
So just panic-stricken, Gregory's just gonna stand still. But if it gets anywhere near his mouth, he's gonna scream again and make that weird prepubescent teenage noise.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. It kind of stops around your breast, and then it kind of looks up at you, and it's almost like it makes a mouth, and then just goes.
Is this thing trying to breastfeed?
You're unconscious.
Be the medical expert's advice opinion there.
I'm sorry, I'll act more in character.
Would Reggie be hearing this by now?
You'd be hearing a little bit of a kerfuffle.
Can you turn around and just kind of go, oh shit? If he sees
Yeah, you can see Maxwell is just like slumped over the table, and you see everyone else is just kind of looking at Gregory.
They all have
Good idea.
mini
Good idea.
recreationals.
Okay.
Any, like napkins or cloths or anything on the table?
It hasn't. It hasn't jumped into my mouth or tried to eat me. So, I'm gonna ask someone to pass me like a bit of chicken or a grape or whatever.
A grape.
Yeah, whatever you can get your hands on. Okay, and then I'll try and blob it into it.
Give it a whole turkey.
There's
No, someone took a big bite out of that.
there's a piece of wing like quite close to you actually, so you can just like grab like a piece of half-eaten wing, and just like.
All right, so I'm gonna grab the half of chicken wing and I'm gonna kind of like put it. Well, I can't push it talk. So just look at my little things, right? This is the jar and this is the chicken wing, okay?
Yeah.
And now we're really winging it.
And then drop it into the chicken wing, drop the chicken wing into the jar, and then in the hopes of trying to coax the little blob back into the jar.
Okay, please make an animal handling check with advantage.
Ooh, nice.
Is that a D20?
It's a D20, yes, but it's animal handling skill.
This feels like a little teeny
What?
tiny portable mimic.
Oh my god, maybe it is.
In true
Animal handling
form,
plus
not
1.
in-
I have 15.
A total 15, yeah?
Total 15.
Yeah, so you kind of like coax it. You in fact you kind of let it take a little bit of a nibble before you put it in the jar, and then you just kind of take the wing away from it and put it in the jar, and then it just kind of follows your hand and actually like crawls over your hand as it kind of drips off into the jar, and you quickly close the jar, make sure that it's closed, and then you watch as this jelly that's just kind of there, you see this partial wing in there begins to like slowly dissolve, almost as if it were like millions of tiny little piranhas that are just kind of like nomming at this piece of meat. But of course you're familiar with acid and things dissolving, so.
Well, that was strange. I'm glad it didn't kill me this time, or try to.
You do hear a little from inside the jar.
I don't know, guys. It sounds pretty cute.
This has been a very strange day.
Do I regain conscious at this point?
Yeah, why not?
You okay, Maxwell?
Oh,
Maxwell, it's friendly.
oh, what happens?
It ate a
What
bit of
happened?
chicken.
What?
I want to hold up the little jar so you can see it.
Maxwell, can you please make a Constitution saving throw?
Okay. If the thing will let me, there we go.
I need to. I'm gonna send you a text, Sam.
So Maxwell's somewhat awake, right?
Yeah, he's fully conscious.
Okay. And I've just described that I managed to coax it back into the jar with this little chicken wing, and then I want to show him the jar of chicken with the chicken wing in it.
Maxwell kind of just looks at it as like, just kind of nods his head, like he kind of like rubs his head a little bit. He clearly looking like he's a little bit this a little bit dazed from just knocking himself unconscious. And God's like steps away from him and just motions that he's going back inside. Just lie down.
Would you like a hand, Maxwell? You don't look so steady.
Again, he just waves his hand and just walks back in. He just walks inside.
Cedric will follow him to check on him.
Sure.
Is it creepy if I'm not going to even ask for permission?
No, if you want to follow him, you can follow him. Like, he's not said anything to say, "Oi, don't follow me." So
he goes back into the tavern and goes to the. He basically just goes to the toilet. He basically starts walking towards the lavatory.
okay, I believe that's on like the first floor, so you might need to go up the stairs and stuff.
Did you make a mistake of ringing the bell though?
No, he makes sure he doesn't ring the bell
Perfect.
this time.
Let's go back to our boy Reginald.
So I've like scraped through my backstory and stuff to try and find some words, and I have a selection of words that may work.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to just send them to you or just read them out?
No, you can just say them out loud.
Arthur, mother.
So I'm just gonna explain as you're kind of putting these through. So you begin to slide these rings round, and they operate smoothly, like greased gears. And as you begin to try different words, it kind of like vibrates a little bit when you kind of put in an answer, but nothing else seems to happen. You put in Arthur. What else?
Do you want me to just read the list in full that I've got right here? That I've
Sure, yeah.
made?
Just go word after word.
Arthur, mother, Albion, Storms, Ronald, family, Reggie, friend.
Okay, when you get to the word family, it vibrates but locks up to the point where you can't move the rings anymore. As you do this and it locks up, you see on one of the ends it opens up in like an aperture, just like opens up, and a long sharp point shing points out from it, about this long. From I'm just showing something weird. Yeah, but it springs out and points out from the end of the cylinder.
Is it like knife thickness or more like needle?
It's big fuck off needle. To the point where like you put your hand next to it and it could comfortably go through your hand. It's a metal spike.
So I can't spin the things anymore,
Nope.
even after that thing's come out. Okay.
They're completely locked.
And all that's come up is an aperture that's opened and a little spike.
Yep.
Do I prick my finger with it? I mean, if I'm kind of taking it as it is in my head, it's just like big fuck off needle. Put in family, have to prove that I am who I am. Put blood on it? So then it goes into the device? That's what I'm thinking? So Reggie kind of just uses it, makes a small incision on his hand and just see how that goes?
Okay. What are you gonna make an incision on your hand with? The spike itself?
Yeah, the spike itself.
So you're just gonna cut your hand with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like how you, like a normal, just standard kind of thin slit on the hand. that
Okay.
gets blood on it.
Make a medicine check or something. Medicine or dexterity, sleight of hand or something, just to see, like, I don't know.
Attack roll.
Yeah.
13 on sleight of hand.
Yeah, sure. You carefully, just over the palm of your hand, you just cut open a very thin line across your hand, and it starts to bleed quite a bit because your hand's got fucking loads of blood vessels in it.
Yeah.
And you what do you do with the spike and this bit of blood that's in your hand now? You can kind of hold it. It's starting to drip.
I kind of realised that I'll need to find something to kind of wrap it up with. Which I don't really have anything on my person at the moment.
I mean,
I'll just kind of hold it for a second and just kind of let it bleed and then just look at it. I'm guessing it does nothing after I've made the incision.
Someone might have accidentally left a satchel there, so you can see if something in that.
True.
True.
You could.
Can I go over and see if his satchel's there? See if there's like a bandage or something?
I mean, yeah, it'd be like on the floor. Why not?
Cool.
Is there a healer's kit in there?
Yes, there is a healer's kit inside of it.
Sure. Yeah, you can comfortably use up one of those usages. Please note that, Sam.
All right.
And so you kind of
one more.
You kind of bandage up the wound, and you doing anything with the spike and the blood, or are you just like leaving?
I've kind of I've put it on the side while I bandage up my hand quickly, but I'm then now got the blood on the spike, so I'm kind of standing it upright to see if the blood goes inside of it.
Okay, you do notice that the spike itself, it does begin to absorb that little bit of blood. It is an extremely small amount of blood, but it absorbs it, and you do see that the first set of runes that are nearest the spiky end ever so slightly begin to emanate the tiniest bit of light, and then immediately it begins to dim down again, and then after a couple seconds it closes.
After he's finishing bandaging his hand, he would go to see if he could turn it anymore.
Yep, you can turn it. The cylinders begin to turn. So you could reset the password if you wanted. Or try a different one, I don't know, up to you.
Can he try Reggie?
Sure. Just turns to Reggie and it kind of vibrates a little bit.
He puts it back to family.
Yep. The spike comes back out.
And then he pulls the bandage kind of off his hand for a second and then just lets it bleed over the needle blade thingy.
Sure.
Reginald, what's that in your hand?
I don't even know yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Ben, where is your character? You said that you were going over to
He came to us. I did. And then he went to the bathrooms, and I thought it was awkward if I followed him to the bathrooms, so I came back to hang out with my other friends.
Okay, alright. Carry on. RP away.
Yeah. And then Reggie just kind of put his hand around the blade in the decision to just kind of let the wound bleed into it.
And you're doing this at the table with the rest of the party there, yeah?
Yeah, that's where everyone's grossed out.
Yeah, I've already walked over there to get a bandage now. I can't be asked to walk back over again.
So you hold your hand over it, and it begins to drip a bit. And again, it begins to suck up that bit of blood. And you get a slight little bit more light, but it's still like... It seems to be some kind of like insignificant amount of light coming from it.
So it needs more. Reggie just like completely removed, because before he would just kind of pull the bandage to the side. Now he just takes it off and just puts his hand on the blade and just starts to dig it in slightly. So then it starts to bleed more to see if that will do anything.
Okay.
I would like to roll to become queasy.
Sure, make a wisdom save. Or a constitution save, up to you.
Wisdom's +1, so I got 7.
Sure, like you start to like, yikes.
And I shall look away.
So remind me what you're doing, Blue.
Kind of just like if this was the blade, he's like putting his hand around it and trying to dig it in to get more blood to come out.
Okay.
What you said was the fact of it emanated a bit more light when more blood was added to it.
Yeah.
And
it's a conical spike.
oh, okay.
So there's no blade edge to it. There's only the.
He would kind of ask us like, "Who's good with medicine around here?" Or have they both gone inside now?
I think Maxwell's inside.
I'm trying to figure out what this is, and I feel like I may need to stab myself with it, but I kind of don't want to do that when no one around, like no one in our group is like around that can do medicine and that. So
I can help.
I mean, we've got the medicine kit here, so I just kind of need to know a good place that I could do it without possibly doing a lot of damage.
Bleeding out and dying on the floor, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I don't want to do. Reggie didn't just kind of explain to the others just like with the cylinder, and he put in a code and then disappeared, and then kind of describes about how the light appeared on it. Do you guys think the same that I do, that it just needs more blood to go onto the spike?
Yeah, makes sense. She says with a -1 medicine.
I have a +0.
That's not good.
But yeah. It's just like, go for it. What's the worst that can happen?
I would say because Maxwell did more of the stuff earlier, we should probably go find him before I try and do this.
He might be gone a while. You don't tend to knock yourself out and just spring back up, you know?
There was somebody else that was good with medicine indoors, correct?
Yeah?
Because that happened last episode with Leo, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Reggie would go to pick up Maxwell's sack and go inside to find the other gentleman who's
Cedric might be able to help you, but I think he went inside. Oh, Jesus.
Given to me, and I just, since now I haven't had a chance to look at it, and I feel like it may be important to something. I don't know. I just want to know. I'm gonna go find them.
I've sent you a text of what Maxwell does.
Oh, sorry, I have not looked.
It's alright. I don't want to interrupt.
I will take this time
that won't take
to
long.
powder my nose. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Does anybody come with me to come and try and find Cedric? Or Maxwell or anybody? Does anybody come with, or?
I mean... So, at the moment, it's just us at the table now, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
Us. Ben's character.
Zathrya would have like gone off and done her own thing.
Yeah. Yeah, might as well. It'd be a bit weird just hanging around at a table on your own.
There's worse things to do, trust me.
Yeah. Like dragging a random stranger up on a stage in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, at least you did really well.
Didn't feel great.
Okay, is Maxwell attempting to hide right now?
Well, he's trying to get to like I said before, he's just trying to get to the lavatory, and just so that he's just by himself for a moment.
You managed to do all that stuff. Anything that you wanted to do while you're there, you can easily do that. It just takes you like a minute to collect yourself and deal with the repercussions of smacking your forehead on a thick wooden bench.
Yeah, it like whilst he's in there, he also like gives a moment to make sure just like refreshes himself, like checks for like opens it a little bit to check for bruising, and that. If nothing serious, and you just make sure the mask is back on.
Yeah, there is a bit of a welt there from where you smacked it, and it is sore. But give it a few days, maybe a week, with some like cold treatment and stuff, it'll go down.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Reggie would go off to find Cedric, and Maxwell will look for Maxwell first.
Yeah. So you make your way over to the lab. This place is actually kind of poorly designed because there's not really like a dedicated private lavatory. But you can go back to your room. Sorry, this is for Sam. You could just go back to your room, which is where Ulrich was, and you could sort yourself out there. If you need to take a shit, you could use your what's it, chamber pot thingy.
A nice empty one we have now.
Oh yeah. So just given a few minutes, Reggie stumbles upon you and.
Oh wait, where was our room again? Was it up one more level?
Yeah, I think it was on the second floor.
Second floor, yeah.
I don't know where you
I mean, you might have stopped off to get like a glass of water or something from the bar first.
Yeah, you can do if you want. It's up to you, man.
Because, hydration's a good thing.
Yeah, gotta stay hydrated.
So probably arrive at a fairly similar time to Reggie with the with some water and like a napkin or handkerchief or something that you can get wet for putting on
Sure, yeah.
the bump. Then we'll give that to Maxwell when he gets there.
So Maxwell, they enter the room.
Apologies about that. I just needed a moment to collect myself. I was feeling a bit delirious.
Fine and understandable.
You're feeling okay now? That was quite a bump. I've got some water and a cloth you could dampen with it if might help with some swelling or something. Should drink anyway. Hydration will help.
Yes, I'll take it. He'll take the water from you.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll take like a little sip.
Good sip.
Reggie, what are you doing?
Reggie would come up to the room with Maxwell's bag and just be like, "Hey, you left this behind."
Right. Thank you. And he'll just take it back.
Also, I may need your guys' help.
With what?
Would the spike still be out in the thing?
If you want it to be, yeah. It's literally just a password. Flick it on, flick it off. That's it.
Cool. He just has it in his hand to put this out. I need to stab myself with this, but put it somewhere safe so I don't die.
Want to know?
I'm sorry. What?
This was given to me, and I have found out that it absorbs blood to kind of do a test to see if you're the right one to open it. And I've given it some, but it needs more because it emits a little bit of light, and I need more light to come out of it for it to activate it to do whatever it does. I've tried my hand, so I borrowed a bandage. Sorry, Maxwell. And I don't know what to do.
You want the safest place to stab yourself.
Oh, hold on. Maxwell goes over to your bandage and just kind of flips it around because it was on upside down.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. But secondly, what?
I need to stab myself.
Wait. Okay, so you're saying this is some kind of device that absorbs blood?
I don't really know. I kind of put in a password and the spike came out, and I cut my hand, put some blood on it, it did a little bit of glowing, then I got the spike out again, gave it some more, and it glowed a little bit more, so I'm kind of guessing that I need to give it more?
Right. Do you know if it specifically needs your blood, or could any animal-like blood do?
I mean, the password was family, and it was given to me by my father, so I'm guessing it's mine. This is all kind of guessing, but yeah.
Well, I would rather check to make sure that we can just, use some possible... if there's any other type of blood that could be used from it, so that you don't, accidentally bleed yourself dry just trying to open this thing.
But do we also run the risk that possibly if we use another kind of blood, it could be locked up?
I'm not proficient in these kind of artifacts. I don't know.
As I said, it's all guessing game, and so far this has worked. I just thought maybe you guys would know, or at least be able to patch me up afterwards.
So what you're essentially asking us to do is a form of bloodletting.
Yes.
Saying we brought a plague doctor with us.
I love it when a plan comes together.
As I've said multiple times, I'm not a doctor. I'm just training. I'm in the process of applying to become one. So I'm not. I don't have a professional medical opinion about this or any experience with any of this.
But surely by applying to it, you would have knowledge already, yes?
But I do have some knowledge of these kinds of things, but I haven't, well, done it before.
Well, first time for everything?
You're dead set on this, aren't you?
Indeed I am.
Oh dear.
I mean, maybe soft tissue in the upper arm or something? I don't know about as much about this as you do, but
Well, if we can find a part... Well, alright. I'd rather do this in a controlled environment than just having you stab it yourself all willy-nilly.
That's why I thought I'd come to you guys, because I already tried that and it didn't seem to work fully.
Can I, I don't know if I need to roll for this or anything. Can I try and figure out what's the best place I could... Basically, I'm trying to figure out how to do bloodletting. Or if I have any knowledge on... If I have any past, knowledge I could draw on how to do bloodletting.
Sure. Do you have any medical books on you, in particular?
There's a book in my bag, but it was never determined what it was, so we can probably say... So we can guess that might be a medical book?
You kind of look at it and it doesn't look like medical, hospital issues, anything like that.
Okay, so I don't have anything.
Yeah. So you could either use, we'll just say, your passive medicine, or you can roll a medicine check.
What would be my passive medicine?
So you literally just...
10 plus your modifier.
Yeah. 10 plus your modifier
Wisdom.
for medicine.
Can Cedric help in this as well, as he's also trying? Help action.
So if you were to help, yes, you can help, but I need Sam to decide how he wants to go about this.
So my passive would be a 14. Yeah, we'll make it interesting, and we'll absorb the help. I'll just roll for it.
Okay, so seeing as you're rolling, you can roll with advantage because you're getting help.
Okay, first roll.
Go on, lad. 2 nat ones.
First roll is a 13.
Total or roll?
Second roll.
Total, that was.
15.
15.
Hey, we improved by 1.
Improved by 1.
So yeah, luckily that was the DC that you needed for something that it's going to draw blood, but you're not going to hit any major arteries. You're not going to hit anything that's too important. You're not going to go through bone or anything like that.
Not going to just go.
And you aid Reggie by doing this, and if Reggie consents, you take hold of the item and basically do it for him. Is that something that he would consent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where would you like to choose on his body? Doesn't have to be super detailed.
Alright, so I imagine I'd probably do some kind of incision roughly about here on the arm.
Yeah, so just forearm. Okay.
Forearm kind of thing. So yeah, he'd take like any form of like dagger or sharp implement that they have. You take the lantern, one of the lanterns off the wall to kind of like heat it up a little bit.
Sure.
In kind of way.
Cedric has a dagger if you need one.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, heat up a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's like kind of way they'd use to disinfect it. Disinfect it in back in
there.
there.
They can sterilize it.
Yeah, to some medieval extent, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's a slightly fancy dagger, just for reference.
Yeah.
So you do that and just make an incision just along the wrist there, and hold it up sideways, and allow the blood to kind of just drip down onto the object.
I'm gonna need you to roll for damage on, like, as if you were to have successfully attacked him with a dagger. So actually no, fuck it. No, you're not gonna roll. In fact, it's gonna be maximum damage, because
so 1d4 plus 1.
If that's what your total would be.
That's what I've got it up on my sheet. That's what my dagger damage would do.
Okay, so yeah, you deal 5 points of damage to him as you cut open his arm, and it starts to drip blood quite a bit. And you're just kind of resting the spike underneath the wound.
So yes, directly underneath it, so that it goes directly onto it.
Sure. So it begins to suck up any blood that is dropped on it, and yes, it glows a little bit more, but not by much.
I
could
press
maybe-
it again against the wound itself. See if that makes any difference.
No difference.
Maybe it needs to be inserted?
How sharp is this thing, the needle?
Very sharp. Like, it's literally like a 6-inch long spike or something like that that's coming out of this thing. And
But my first idea was to just go.
yeah, it's in terms of like cone diameter, the base of the cone is about 2 inches, and it's about 6 inches long. So it's quite thin. It's like this. If that helps.
Okay. So seeing so it's still like not fully absorbed all of it enough yet, you're saying?
It's absorbing all blood that touches it. That's blues at least. Or not blues, Reggie's. But you do see like a little bit of like a glow, but not much at all.
Maybe I need to be holding it?
I don't think that's going to make a difference. It just seems like it seems like it needs a substantial amount of blood. Because my main concern is that it may cause, problems due to lack of blood loss if we go too much further with this.
Do we know of anyone that may have more experience with stuff like this as of now? What about the people that helped us on the cart?
Well, there was just us on the cart. Everyone else that was everyone else that we know was back at the camp.
There's a friendly bartender, but I don't think he's knowledgeable on cutting yourself.
Again, this kind of artifact interaction blood things are not my expertise, so I'm just playing as much of a guessing game as you are at this point.
Well, let's depend how far of a guessing game do we want to take this.
Oh, I should probably Maxwell use the heated blade to cauterize the wound.
Okay, roll a d4 of fire damage.
Ow.
2.
2 points of fire damage.
Okay, I mean, I think we should stop it there because I'm now at like 5 hit points.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even like level 1, so like you don't really have hit points, but like we need something to give you some kind of tangible limit to your body.
You're at a point at which you're now fairly hurt.
Yeah. Just keep stabbing yourself over and over again for like infinite HP.
Considering this is an object that's designed to, that it requires bodily harm, I suggest we, as we're heading to the academy, I imagine they'll have people that are more knowledgeable about these things than I am. So they'll probably be able to answer any more and answer your questions about how to activate this device.
Quite possibly, but can you harm me for trying?
I did harm you for trying.
Yeah.
Indeed, you did.
Right, well, it's getting rather late. You had a nasty bump on the head, and you've just had your blood let, so I think perhaps we should rest, especially if we're going to be traveling a long distance tomorrow.
Indeed,
I agree. I agree that it's going to be a long day tomorrow.
Cedric will take the far bed.
After the music ends and the band makes their way off stage, packing everything up, they grab some food and make their way to their executive suite, and a large bell is dong 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 is rung, and a husky voice can be heard. Last orders! The crowd thins as more and more people begin to make their ways to the bar, rooms, to their tents and other things like that. And we're going to do like a little bit of a pan. Woo! Over to the tree.
If she's like mid ceremony or whatever she's doing, then I'll just quietly sit next to her and listen, I guess, until she's done.
Okay, yeah, so you walk up to this character. They seem to just be in like a open conversation. You actually do hear another voice kind of coming back from the tree, and it's like, hello, love. You wanna come have a chat?
Apologies, I don't seem to be familiar with this custom.
What? Having a chat?
Oh, with a plant, I mean.
Sure, but she's not like most plants.
But I would love to learn more. I must admit, this is one of the most beautiful landmarks I've ever seen.
I'm glad you think so, because I agree. She's very big and bodacious, and she's just so awesome. Melody, you are awesome. And she kind of like pats the root, and the tree just kind of like booms back with a, "Oh, cheers, mate. You're cool too." It's okay. I'm just a tree. Hi, my name's Melody. I'm just here chilling. This is my home. You see that? You see that building right there? That's mostly built from me and my siblings.
Is that not harmful?
I mean, yeah, but like sacrifice and everything. Like you got to give a little to receive a little.
What are you receiving?
I'm receiving friends, you know, like
Friends?
like all these people that come and share their stories, and I get to help and be merry with. It's great fun, you know.
How did you get to be the tree that you are? That must be a very interesting origin story.
I mean, I remember being a sapling, but that was like thousands and thousands of years ago.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I'm not actually like the oldest either. I'm just a baby in comparison,
like
you know.
With the encrusted gems and everything, there's more like you.
Oh, those are just my ornaments, you know. Keeping things styling.
Like jewelry.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, well, it suits you.
Oh,
It really does.
thanks. Like if you look up in my branches, you should be able to see some trinkets.
Did people gift you trinkets?
Oh yeah.
Or you-
It's we do little trades, you know. I help them out a little bit, and they give me some stuff.
Oh,
Sometimes it's not always material though. Sometimes it's like they bring me nutrition, and like sometimes they cast like sun spells when it's like winter and I need a little bit of juice, you know. Sometimes people bring me some like crushed up skeletons and some other things, like perhaps some there's some dead wildlife out in the forest. They give me some things to mulch and slowly eat, I guess.
well, I must say you are the most delightful tree that I have ever spoken to.
And you see that there is like the roots kind of move in different places, and they actually like form like a smiling face. Oh, thank you. You are quite wonderful too.
Oh. Gee. Blush.
What is your name, little one?
Oh, apologies. I'm Yen.
Oh, nice to meet you, Yin. My name is Melody.
Nice to meet you too. And you? Turns to other lady.
Oh, my name's Hildireth. Hildireth Hyacinth at your service.
Is that so?
Yep.
Well. Oh, Hildireth, I love your hair. It's very bright.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it can be a bit of a hassle sometimes.
Oh,
But
tell me about it.
I like it. It matches my vibe, you know. And for those that potentially may require audio descript, this character is very squat. They are very voluptuous. They have a very large rack, very wide hips, very bouncy bum, and they are.
You had me at voluptuous.
They are barefoot, with painted fingernails, toenails, red lipstick. They have red ombre hair that goes from like a ginger color to a crimson red color on the ends, and they have at their side a staff, which it looks like it's a twisted piece of wood, but it's got vines and leaves and things that are sprouting from it with flowers and stuff like that. And the roots from the tree just seem to be kind of floating around her a little bit and just kind of like playfully touching her in places, like jingling her coin pouch and stuff like that. She seems incredibly one with the nature around her. She wears a set of they're basically old-fashioned sunglasses in a sense. A lens, not nearly to the quality that you're used to these days, but it's a lens with guards on the side. They're basically look like goggles. And she has some piercings in places. And she's got a backpack on and stuff like that. Looking at her, you can tell that she is a halfling. And she stands at a very small 3'3".
Well, if you don't mind, the crowd out there is a bit claustrophobic for me, and the music's not really my taste. So I came here to look for a bit of peace.
Oh yeah, me too.
And she goes to sit down and notice that she doesn't have shoes, so she's also going to take off her shoes.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to take off your shoes if you don't want to. It's just I like the feeling of the dirt and the grass between my toes.
Oh, well, if I'm honest, this is the first time I'm experiencing this amount of greenery, so I'd like to experience it how people one with this greenery experience it, by the looks of things.
Oh, all right. By all means. She just watches for a moment as you like take off your shoes and stuff. So, I guess what brings you to the Saborn Ladle, and of course Melody.
Oh, well, what brings me to Melody is that it quite sticks out like a beautiful sore thumb, being the biggest tree around. What brings me here specifically? That's a very long story. We're actually trying to find the Strelonxmum's Academy. We're trying to find a Mr. Silverwood, or Professor Silverwood, I imagine.
Okay. Why?
Was it Silverwood?
Why do you want anything to do with him?
We were told to go see him because of the strange things that have been happening in the forest. Nope. What's it called? The Shallow Grove.
Oh. Wait. But why were you there? You're a little bit young to be adventurous.
I'm not. Actually, this is my first full day in this continent.
More like your second or third, but yeah.
Second or third.
Okay. And you see as she she reaches into her pouch and starts to pull out some a little pouch of something, a little brown substance mixed in with some green stuff, and then begins to pull out some kind of paper and starts to roll a little bit of recreational substance, and she just says, I think I might need some of this for this chat. This seems a bit deep. Do you want some?
What is it?
They're drugs.
I'm okay. You go ahead. You enjoy.
Okay. Does it? I mean, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, I can wait. I'm not gonna smoke around someone that's not comfortable around it.
You go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. And she finishes rolling up a cigarette, and she pulls out it is just an old-fashioned looking gas lighter, and she just lights up a little bit of wacky backy. So you guys have a chat and kind of explain all this stuff and things go on. I'm not going to have you explain your whole backstory and the events that have happened over the past 5 episodes.
Yen will only go as far back as going through the portal and finding everyone else.
Okay.
She won't go any further than that.
A portal. And she kind of looks at Melody and is like, Melody, do you know anything about this? And that you get like the ground beneath you begins to like almost oscillate and vibrate for a minute, and the tree begins to kind of shake and sway a little bit, kind of heavily in the wind, or not even in the wind, it's just shaking itself. Melody speaks out with like a face made of roots and stuff like that, and says, I just spoke to
Terry?
My brothers and my brothers and sisters, and they said that there was some weird shit going on in the Shallow Grove. In fact, there's some weird shit going on all over the place. Throughout the entire planet. Oh no. Some of my brothers and sisters, they have been hurt by this. Different things landing on them all the time. Some of them have been uprooted, and some of them have been torn apart by different things. I'm not sure we know what this is. Perhaps this is outside of tree knowledge, you know? Doesn't quite seem... It must be something outside of our perceptions. The mother tree seems a bit concerned, you know? She's a bit worried that this is bad news.
A mother tree. I knew it affected some people. I didn't expect that it affected so many.
Hildireth says, sorry, it wasn't anything... Melody, could you make way to perhaps Weybridge? And she says, yes, let me just focus for a second. And the roots begin to kind of coalesce around one single area, and then begin to kind of crack and split apart. And then in the middle, there's like this glowing light that seems to be some kind of magical essence, perhaps. And Hildireth says, it didn't look like that, did it?
Did it look like that?
No, completely different.
No, it was more big and purple, like a shattered mirror. But void.
Okay.
I'm sorry, is this tree able to teleport people?
And then the roots close in on each other and then begin to make another face again, and says, yes, I can do that. I can speak with my brothers and sisters, and I can connect us on a like a metaphysical level. It's kind of weird, really. We kind of defeat time and space.
Fast travel.
Yeah, but only with the big ones, you know, like not like normal trees. They're a bit too small for that kind of stuff. It's got to be like a big oak like me, where we have the space and we kind of have the consciousness to do it.
I see. Well, that's why we must see Silverwood, wherever he is, to report this kind of information.
Just for like a brief description, before we kind of wrap this a little bit up. The tree itself is a large oak tree that shadows over the side of the road. And like there's like a roadside trough that it kind of looms over. And it has numerous trinkets and baubles hanging from its canopy. And it sways and creaks in the breeze as the trinkets themselves act as like little chimes and sometimes like as wind chimes. And they make a sweet little ding 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 dong ding 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 ding. You get the idea that the tree themselves loves the music and they love all kinds of music and stuff like that. Though she tries to like sing you a little bit or something and it's fucking terrible. It's just like really bad.
Melody,
Yes.
can I give you something for being so hospitable?
If you want to, but it's usually like a trade thing. I was just
Okay.
talking to you and you talk back.
Well, you know, consider it a introductory gesture then. And she takes off a little, a small, like, bangle bracelet made from the stones of the mountain, or like more like the precious gems of the mountain, and it like gives a nice little rattle.
Sure.
When you take it.
Okay. I'm assuming this
My
thing doesn't
family-
have like a... Or does it have like a monetary value? In any way?
Maybe if you sell it to the right person.
Okay.
I don't know. This is literally something I made up. It's like maybe she has a bracelet that was made.
Sure. It'd be like a very kind of cheap thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, what is that? And she's like, can you like put it here? And she like summons like a little root. And the root kind of like wiggles a little bit and like spins it around the end of the root. Oh wow, that's nice. That is that oh, it's metal, right?
It's a mixture of silver and amethyst.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but it's metal and some kind of stone, yeah?
Yes, it's a stone that comes from my home.
That's wonderful. That sounds really personal.
Oh well, got plenty of those.
Are you sure
Wherever it
you
came
don't
from.
want to keep it? And she like lowers it back.
I have other things that I keep close at heart.
Oh, okay. I
She
will.
pulls a little like
I will find this a little home, and perhaps you can make use of my services at some time. And she like
sure.
the root moves up, and then like a branch or a set of branches kind of lowers, and they meet in the middle, and it like hooks it, and it like finds a little place in the canopy, and it jingles along with some other stuff. Okay. So, after the long musical night, you'll bed down and get some rest. Some of you feeling groggy or worse for wears. Some of you in pain in different degrees. In terms of healing your hit points, by the way, you either need to be healed like physically or actively, or you roll a hit dice. You're not gonna this is for the whole campaign. Long rest does not equal full HP. Long rest equals you get to roll hit dice. So if you for whatever reason take a short rest at some point and you roll some hit dice, you then can't use those hit dice again until after you completed a long rest. So you're gonna have to be a little bit more economical with how you spend your HP.
We're playing on hardcore mode, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
This is technically how D&D is meant to be played, I think, by the rulebook.
Okay, can I roll a dice to try and get some hit points back then because of a long rest?
Yeah, I mean, you only get 1 hit dice because you're not even level 1, but yeah. Your hit dice will be like whatever your class is. So if you're a fighter, it'll be a D8. No, wait, D10 for fighter.
D10, yeah, I got 3.
Yeah, and anytime you long rest, just use up all your remaining hit dice because you get them all back anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just mainly matters when you're short resting as to how much you want to try and heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get 3 hit points back. So you're still lowered on your hit points, right? Still missing some.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys start making your way downstairs as a group. I'm not going to move the people that aren't here, but an assortment of smells drifts upstairs from the kitchen of freshly made bread and cooked meats, and it kind of tempts you guys downstairs as your stomachs grumble after your night of merriment. And each of you begin to stir from your slumber. Some feeling worse for wears, like I said, and in varying states of hangover or physical recovery. As you venture down into the dining area, you see the large grey-skinned figure sat at one of the tables. He will be sat here, and alongside his third friend, and they both tuck into food while a one-sided conversation is had. Eli's kind of talking at Kursak a little bit. He has to be a bear for now because that's the closest I can get.
Alright, I can bear with it.
I'm gonna roll a d4.
Was that or my wing it joke earlier?
You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. As when
someone throws a goblet at your head.
as when you sit down,
There was a spike trap.
your chair breaks, and you end up like landing on your hand and like crushing your hand a bit.
It's over half my HP.
Yeah. Don't
Falling off a chair.
don't repeatedly irritate the DM through an entire session. I am pulling your leg. I'm not gonna fucking do that. You don't have to take damage. So the large grey-skinned man wishes you all a good morning before explaining. Morning. Well, I'll be with you in a bit. Yeah, I just need to fill our bellies. I'll be real quick. And he just kind of chows down to some food that he's clearly prepared a few moments before, and he smiles as he stuffs his face with pork sausage and some other high carb food. It's at this point that you guys have a little bit of free time as you're kind of all sat around the table waiting for food to be delivered to your table.
How is Faye looking? Generally.
Yeah. Fingers look like they've been through a blender, but
Oh, Maxwell would also like to check your shoulder to see how that's been healing. See if any new bandages need applying.
Yeah.
In terms of your HP, how is your HP? Are you on full?
Yeah, I didn't take any damage. So.
Okay. Since the wound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Same shoulder or the other shoulder?
Oh, that that's just a nasty old scar at this point.
Yeah, but is your busted shoulder the same shoulder as?
Oh
that
no, they're different shoulders,
Different
which is
shoulders.
fun. It's fine.
Oh, bad day for shoulders.
Well, it
Pointy,
appears... Oh, sorry.
Go for it,
nice
dude.
pointy stick in nice pointy stick in one shoulder, and big nasty other thing that marks you as a very specific type of person on the other.
Well, Maxwell would check on the shoulder that I was shot, and
Yeah, he's completely unaware.
yeah, completely oblivious to it. He's like, oh, well, it appears that the wound is healing quite nicely. You'll have a nice battle scar from the whole thing.
If
But apart from that, your shoulder should be in good health.
Yeah. As you do examine the wound, it's the fur around it, because she is a furred person. That the fur is not there. It's still just like a dark pink, fleshy color that's still healing over. The skin hasn't fully started healing over yet, so you still got maybe a couple weeks of just like naturally leaving it before it like fully heals back, with some aid.
Don't pick at the scab.
Yeah.
God, but it itches.
You're gonna need to keep it covered in some sense as well from time to time. Like, it don't be fucking, I don't know, rolling through mud and shit like that. He finishes up his breakfast and then stands over you guys as Kursak makes his way over to the kitchen again. He's gonna stand here next to Yen pretty much and just say, okay, right, what can I get you? Do you want some meats? Do you want some... I think I've got some cheeses left. Ost, brød, kjøtt, milk.
I'll just take some buttered bread, if that's all right.
Same for me, and some water, please.
I try the cheese. I've never had cheese.
Haven't had cheese.
It's rather smelly.
Do you wish
Not
for...
sure
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure I'm too familiar with it either.
Oh, okay. I'll get like a cheese board going for you. And
I would like to have your finest bread selection, please.
sure, I've freshly baked some. The couple are still rising, so they might be a while. But yeah, I could do some buns and some other stuff. I've got some loaf from yesterday. Breads, cheeses, buttered bread. Anything else? Anyone want a sandwich? Anyone want like some veg in there? You want some like fiber? Because like fiber's healthy, you know. I could do some juices.
I'll just take a mixture of some of the food stuff and I'll have some juice.
Sure. Right. Anyone else want anything before I rush off?
Do you have any mountain berries?
What kind? That's very broad.
The edible berries from the mountain?
Sure, yeah. Do you want some with a kick or something like ordinary?
Oh, anything. Surprise me.
Okay. Sure, fine. Why not? Okay. Fuck you, Sophia. So he runs off to the kitchen. He gets Kursak and they both begin to get to work in the kitchen. So it's not long. If anyone wants to do anything while he's cooking, in case you thought of anything in the last 2 minutes.
That's just making me hungry.
No? Okay. Yeah, I'm hungry too.
Let's check how Maxwell's doing after his big bump.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just some minor bruising. That's all.
It's good to hear. And Reggie, your arm okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
well, as okay as an arm that recently got cut open could be. But good.
Yeah, when you look at it that way, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's still bleeding a bit at this time.
I'm sure it'll heal up nicely.
And my leg's okay.
Just don't pick at the
Just so you know.
scabs.
You mean like this?
No, you. Yeah.
So
Don't do that.
Eli comes back with like a whole bunch of food. Right. Just because fucking Sophie mentioned it, I've been trying to organize this list, but I've really not been doing a great job at organizing it, so bear with me. What can I give you that's remotely edible?
It can be nondescript. I don't know. It can be flipping blueberries. I don't know if blueberries can grow on mountains. Probably not.
So yeah, he comes out with Kursak, and they both bring like together like 4 large trays of food. You got cheeses and stuff on one. You've got fruits and vegetables on another. And then you've got a whole bunch of breads and stuff like that on another. And then on the last one, you've got a bunch of butters and spreads and a whole bunch of drinks as well. He begins to serve out all this stuff and pass it down the table. He pulls over a plate, and on this plate there is like a kind of have you ever guys had like a strawberry tart or something like that? Just like a tart, which is like the pastry on the bottom, some kind of fruit jelly and kind of cream and stuff. If you've not, look it up. But he has a small plate about this big and scoots it over to Yen. Sam, if you could please just mute again, because I'm getting some bleed over. And he says, hi, yeah, this is a plum tart, but it might have a bit of a kick.
That's a good way to start the morning. Thank you very much.
And the rest of the food is completely ordinary. It's like completely safe to eat. You could share this if you want to, but like, it's better if you just enjoy it all yourself, you know.
How big is it? Like this?
Yeah, just a small tart, like a kind of little dessert tart.
I'll cut a piece, like a tester piece, which has a bit of everything in it.
Like a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. I've not truly thought out the effects of this. What would happen when it's in cooking? So we're gonna have to go off of the raw ingredients. So could you please roll a d4?
It's just gonna be getting baked on a whole different level.
4.
Okay.
No,
nothing.
Sorry, 3.
Okay. Nothing happens, but this thing is sweet. In fact, it's got like a little bit of a pop to it, like a little bit of like almost like a fizz. Like, have you guys had those pop rock things?
Popping candy.
Like where you eat it, put it on your tongue, and it's all like fizzy. So yeah, you eat this, nothing happens. You take a taster, and nothing really happens. Kursak goes back in the kitchen and gets back to work, but Eli just kind of waits for a second to watch and is like, if you want anything to happen, you gotta eat the whole thing.
You know what, Eli? I trust you.
You just like devour this whole tart.
To be fair, she's not had a dessert like this in a very long time.
Oh, and it is fucking great. It is like the best fucking like dessert that you've ever fucking had.
Hell yeah.
It gives you like as it's going down, it almost feels like butterflies as it's kind of going down. But like as your stomach kind of settles and stuff, like it obviously recedes. the flavors on your tongue is like you've got a nice soft base, like kind of pastry base.
Buttery biscuit base.
Buttery biscuit base, yep. And then you've got like a nice creamy layer, like a thick cream, which is nice and soft. And on the top, you've got this plum jelly on the top. And you eat it, and you get a mixture of all those flavors coming through. And you finish it, and you guys watch as you guys are all devouring your food as well, like your cheeses, your breads, and your meats and stuff like that. And you just watch as Yen is just not there.
Yen?
Did you like the cheese, Faye?
You guys can hear this, like.
What?
Yeah, Yen, are you okay?
I feel fine. What's wrong?
Okay, so it's not the cheese doing this, right?
No, it's not.
I
Can you see your hands?
I think it may have been what she ate.
Okay.
Yen, can you see your own hands?
Can I see my own hands?
Honestly, up to you. Really does not matter.
I can see my own hands, yeah.
You look at your
Technically,
hands.
it's go back.
You look at your hands, and you can see like a translucent shimmer over your hands.
Oh. Okay, calm.
What
Okay.
was in that?
That'll wear off. I think that wears off.
Yeah, it wears off. You got about an hour.
Well, that.
Can we have more to go?
Excuse me, what was in that pastry?
Oh yeah, it was Pixie Plum.
Is it a specific type of plum?
Yeah, a Pixie Plum. So,
Maxwell takes notes of this.
okay.
Fascinating.
It's a bit chaotic. It's sometimes it does this, sometimes it does something else.
So you have no control over what it can and cannot do?
It's limited in the number of things that it can do. I think I've only seen it do a handful of things. It's not harmful in any way. I wouldn't serve it if it was.
He's still furiously writing notes about all this.
Just a fucking trip.
And how rare? He's just gonna keep asking questions about the plum.
By all means, I have notes. So you guys are aware, like anything that like Yen interacts with and like picks up and stuff like that, it also just disappears until she puts it back down. Mechanically, you have invisibility cast on you, and you're concentrating on it. So
if I pick up something, it turns invisible with me.
yeah,
Faye's just gonna reach out.
you reach out. Your hand is just touching. Looks like it's touching thin air.
You sure it's about the cheese?
You can feel her shoulder. I kind of. Oh, you actually sat opposite. Yeah, Yen. You just see Faye's hand just come straight towards your face.
Yep, I'm right here.
Sorry.
What happens if I touch Reggie's cloak?
You touch his cloak. Yeah,
Same
you're
cloak?
just manipulating his
wearing
cloak. Yeah.
Can I walk behind him and just flip his cloak over his head?
Yeah, you do so, and it's like his cloak's
And
over his
everyone else who's wearing a cloak, I'm just gonna around the table. I mean, not strangers.
head. Sure.
Hey, mind the coat. Mind the coat.
Yeah, just take the bottom of it and flip it over your head.
Ah!
Maxwell sees what you're doing, grabs hold of his hood so it doesn't get pulled down.
Oh no, I'm not pulling down things. I'm pulling up things. like up and over.
Just suddenly pants.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can imagine several
Hendrik looks
people in this group.
mildly unamused.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna take a handful of like grapes that are maybe next to the cheese and put one grape in everyone's bag, just to discover later, maybe mushy and moldy.
Sure. I mean, once you let go of it, it's then visible.
Yeah. But, like,
okay, go ahead.
now it's in the bag.
Make a general sleight of hand check to see how you do with it.
I'm just literally just walking around putting grapes in people's bags.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get advantage?
Yeah. Well, no, that would be stealth. Fine. Yeah, advantage, but it's a stealth check.
Okay.
Having been alerted to pranking, can Cedric keep an eye out for further pranking?
Sure. Roll a perception check.
That's a dirty 20 for stealth.
Oh, so close, dude.
That was a 19 for a moment.
Yeah, that was almost a 21 and would have beat it, but not quite. Yeah, you don't notice. Yen, you managed to prank everyone by placing something in their pockets.
A bedroll.
Yeah, that's like the only thing that she's carrying. Yeah, Faye doesn't have pockets, or anything like that, so you might have to find a different way to prank her. Not quite sure how.
Is there no hood?
No, it's literally as you see on the miniature.
Okay, I'll just place it right between her ears.
Stick it in her ear hole.
There's one grape just right here.
Okay.
That video of that cow, like they put a flower on its head and it just like...
What's going on? What's going on?
All right. So, as you guys are like chilling and stuff like that, Eli and Kursak visit you guys at your table to kind of see how you're doing and how Ulrich's doing, and you know, how was the music and stuff like that. Towards the end of the meal, the bell at the front door rings. A slender winged figure enters the establishment. If I can find the thing.
So he hears the bell, says, "Oh, you poor soul."
And you hear shortly after the bell has been rung, like a very light conversation taking place. They have as they kind of come rushing around this corner, they have quite a hurried expression on their flat owl face. They skip over to you guys, having spoken to Gilly already and had the bell removed. This person is familiar with this trick. The individual bows once he reaches the group, palms on their feathered thighs, just lowers. Their satchel swings forward and they clasp it standing straight before opening their satchel, and they reach a hand into the bag, which seems to vanish into some kind of like dark void. It's like their hand completely like disappears, and that like forearm completely disappears before they reach it back out. They pull out a bundle of envelopes tied together with a silver ribbon. They close their satchel and hold the bundle, tapping it against their other hand before stopping and counting out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I think
Something you need help with?
they pause for a moment with a slightly confused expression.
Actually, they should only be seeing one less at the table.
Yeah. This is why they're confused. They tilt their round face. There are meant to be 9 of you. I only count 8.
Oh, right. You must be mistaken. One of us is invisible, and I gestured to where Yen should be.
I ate some berries.
Oh, he like reaches over and pokes. You just get like a clawed talon of a hand poke you in the side of the face. Oh, okay. I thought
Is there something that we can help you with?
Yes. Bear with me. I thought my device was kept acting up. They pull out a small device from their bag, which is like a spherical glass ball with metal bands, and there's like a needle which seems to be like pointing towards you guys. It constantly twitches between each member of you, and then points. I'm just gonna say that everyone that's not here currently is at the table, because I was accounting for the fact that Blue and Leo hadn't arrived in the campaign yet. I was gonna have like you guys have to find these dudes to then like get their letters delivered and shit like that, but you're already here. They stop around and look around for a moment in each direction, just confirming. They then pocket the device and begin to untie the ribbon around the envelopes. As they pull the ribbon free from the envelopes, they whisper a gentle incantation. Does anyone here speak Celestial?
Maybe. Yes.
Okay. You hear, "Go forth to the soul you are bound unto. Convey the message, fulfill your purpose, and be at peace." And the envelopes begin gliding around the room in a circle, almost like carrion birds circling their next meal. One by one, they dive towards the table and skid, slowly stopping before each of you. However, there seems to be like a bit of confusion as he's kind of like, there's one just in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I'll just take that one. And he's like, oh, wait, are you still there?
Still here. Hi.
Okay. Very weird. So in front of you sits a blank envelope on the table. What would you all like to do?
Open it.
Open it.
Do
As
we
it's something to
open
do
it?
when you receive a letter.
Can we open it?
Now fucking say burn it all. So yeah, you all have these letters in front of you. You may now open them.
My gosh.
The messenger then grabs a chair as you guys begin opening, and he waits for further instruction or requests for a moment. Who has the best dictation amongst the group? James.
If you like.
Yeah. James, if you care to dictate what is written on your letter.
Dear Lord Cedric Coppermore, we are pleased to inform you that you have been invited to attend Year 1 at Ursulok's Academy of Chivalry and Sorcery. Term begins on 1st September. We await your arrival no later than the 31st of August. You may arrive as early as the 17th of August. Present this letter upon arrival as proof of invitation. All supplies required to complete your studies will be available on campus upon your arrival. However, you may bring any additional supplies you wish, in accordance to Terran law. Yours sincerely, Ozymandias Silverwood.
Does anybody know the date today?
Roll a history check. And actually, you guys wouldn't fucking know what the date is. You guys have been all through like the timey-wimey shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We'll ask excuse me, what date is it today?
The messenger in front of you, I think it's 29th of July?
Oh, 19 days?
But no, it's not. So yes, we're not behind schedule. A little bit early then.
Yeah.
Does anybody else find it slightly odd that we're already heading to the place that we have received these letters from?
Well, as I said before, I was already heading there in the first place.
I find it more odd that I got invited. This, if I had not been where I am currently, this would have traveled across the continent, if at all. So, I'm rather confused what I have to do with an academy, besides finding Silverwood.
Well, I suppose there's no requirement for you to accept the request, but it is quite selective getting into Westerlocks. They choose those they deem worthy. You can't just walk in. So they obviously think that something about you is worthy of it, about all of us.
Well, they would be a first.
Maybe this is to do with this thing that people call fate and or destiny.
Well, if you believe in that kind of thing, I guess.
I don't quite, but that's why I said it could be one of the things that people call fate and or destiny.
No, in any case, it's another reason that we need to head to the Orthodox Academy anyway.
How far away are we from this place?
You are. It does not have a consistent place. It moves, so I cannot give you an answer.
It moves? Well, how are we supposed to find it?
You have to find the what is it? Outpost, like a not a HQ, but like a transport location.
Oh, maybe Melody knows.
Melody?
Where can we find one of these transportation locations?
You have to go to a registered Adventurers Guild office. There, if you present your invitation, you will be permitted to transport to Westerlocks Academy. I mean, you could fly there if you want to, but it will. Good luck trying to find it and keep track and keeping up. You'd have to be me to do that. And there's like a big smile on his face.
Do you have any directions to this place?
Yeah, you want to go to Weybridge and check that place out.
Weybridge? Oh, I know where Weybridge is.
Okay.
Well, I don't, but Melody does.
That's lovely.
Who is Melody?
The tree.
Yeah, the tree outside.
Were you speaking to this tree?
Yeah, this tree has a conscience. As do the rest of her family. Get off, cat. Oh my gosh.
Huh.
Did you take anything?
I've always heard stories of trees being able to speak, but I've never seen one myself.
Okay, you sure you didn't take anything last night?
Don't think I ate last night.
Well, if the tree can help, the tree can help.
I guess I was in the vicinity of someone smoking something, so maybe I caught a whiff, but I don't think it was that strong. But I mean, if our messenger here knows who Melody is, then surely I'm not alone. Sorry, we didn't catch your name.
Yes. My name is Herschel Lightwing. I am a dedicated messenger of the Adventurers Guild. If you need something somewhere quick, I can get it there. By old-fashioned means. Sometimes security and cost means that things have to be delivered by hand. I understand that a lot of communication and messages and things can be transported via telepathic means and perhaps even through teleportation. But yeah, so like if you need a message sent somewhere, but it's like super important and it can't be delivered by other means, just I'm probably your bird. Yeah.
Indeed. Thank you.
If you need to get to Weybridge, you can just take the road. It's maybe a couple days up the road. You don't need to use Melody for getting to Weybridge, but she can get you there if you're really in a rush.
I suppose we've got some time to cross-country walk.
Yeah. You probably want to get some coin too, to get your supplies and other things. Anything to prepare yourself. You'll only be given basic equipment.
Do we not still have the horse and cart that we arrived on?
You do, but you were instructed that it should be returned to.
So does that mean we have to take the horse and cart back to where we got it from, and then come back this way?
You need to maybe arrange something. You could either take it back there yourselves, or you could arrange for someone else from there to come pick it up, or someone from here to go take it there.
We could ask
Mr. Lightwing, was it? Would you be able to deliver a letter for us, or is that not?
That is my job. Yes.
I didn't know if you were like if you were like preoccupied with other deliveries or such. Anyway, we were just hoping if you could maybe perhaps send a letter back to one of our compatriots before that their cart is here and that they can come and retrieve it.
Yes, I can deliver that. I need a name. So that I can target a soul for my direction. I'm just waiting.
Oh, I don't think I was there for most of the session that we were in the camp.
Steel Spine! I have it! Commander Vith Steel Spine Corvetta. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Aha! See, I'm a good note taker.
There we go. So Herschel pulls out his little compassy thing. Yes, if you could say that name into the sphere, please.
Commander Vith Steel Spine Corvessa.
And the needle begins to spin. And then like it kind of glows a little bit, and then it finds a lock, and then ding. Yes, we have it. I have the recipient. I just need the letter.
Could you just deliver the message verbally?
I got pen and ink, but I got no paper. Damn it.
I mean, I could deliver a verbal message, as your companion there said, unless you want it completely private, in which I will need a written letter.
I don't believe that such message needs to be that private.
To have a verbal message. Tell them that their carriage is in good condition and that is waiting for them at the Sable and Ladle.
He's writing this down in a notepad for memory's sake. You want anything else?
I could do with sending a letter by home, as I have a feeling my disappearance might have worried some.
I will just remind you, you have a particular item for this.
I will remind myself what I have.
I will also say then,
I do.
Also that Ulrich's leg has been saved. He is healing, and we will be heading to the Ulstrox Academy.
Yes.
I believe that should be everything for that letter. for that message.
Okay, that will be a gold, please.
Right. One moment. Again, rooting around in my satchel. Just checking if I have the... Yes, I do. I hand him 1 gold piece.
Your pouch looks quite thin. Perhaps you should look into getting some work as a group before you visit the academy. I think they would take it as a good impression if you were to already be doing what you would be doing at the academy. It's kind of like getting a job, you know. If you're already doing a job, then they're more likely to hire you. You make a good impression, you know. Whilst earning some coin.
Mr. Lightwing makes a...
I suppose that wouldn't hurt. Although, what I don't think are any of you part of the Adventurers Guild? And I gesture to everyone else in the asking it to everyone else in the party.
No.
The rest of you have received letters of invitation.
I believe that to enter the Adventurers Guild you have to be an adventurer, which essentially is a prerequisite that you have attended the Earthblocks Academy, so perhaps one day we will be. But right now, not.
I'm sure we could find some odd jobs along the way.
So yeah, he says, if that is all, I will be off. I shall deliver your message post haste.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
And he kind of does like a bow, clicks his boots together, chugs a potion, does a couple of other things. Yeah, he's got a couple of other things, and he then just fucking bolts out the door like 100 fucking miles an hour. This guy's basically fucking the Owlin version of Mercury, just like fucking super fucking quick. So yeah,
That's some speedy delivery.
he bolts off. Yeah, definitely faster than Hermes for sure. Yeah, so at this point, you guys need to decide what you want to do. This will be the end of this prologue. Oh no, sorry, not the end of the prologue. It'll be the end of this part of the prologue. I'm so fucking sorry. But like, you guys won't be level 1 until you've completed a year at the academy. So like, even when you arrive, that's just going to be start of chapter 1, and then you'll do like a year, then you'll be level 1. So we're still dragging out quite a bit, but I'm hoping that the studies and things, it should hopefully kind of blend in a bit more. But yeah, you got this one more act before you then begin the true part of the campaign.
So we've got to earn some money to get some gear before going off to do this stuff.
Yeah, you got to figure out how and when and where and the whats and everything else.
I mean, we've got somebody who's musically talented.
Yeah, where do we find jobs?
Is there like any kind of like job board in the tavern that we can look at, or is that exclusively just for adventurers?
So you do look around, and Eli's there as well, and he's like particularly like interested, and he listens up, and yeah, there is a job board, but it's as you said, it's exclusively for official licensed adventurers. The stuff that we do here is it has a certain risk to it. Even a ceramic level, they have to they may have to fight something, they may have to perform some kind of task which is potentially dangerous, or you know, it's not always danger, but it's quite often danger. If you want to try and get work and payment and stuff, you're going to have to try and find some kind of like physical job that you could do in Weybridge. You could
Up here?
we are currently like full up. But actually, last night was kind of a mess. If you wanted, you could spend today doing some work for us, and I will pay you. Let's say, let's see how much I got. I could give you a gold each for.
What was it that would we be doing?
Cleaning, tidying, sweeping, all that kind of stuff. Need help cleaning up all this stuff from last night. There's quite a bit of rubbish outside still.
I suppose it's a good place to start. Thank you.
First step is a good step.
Yeah, okay.
It's something.
Just, would it be possible for you to pay any more?
If you were to do more work, yes. Don't forget, you are already in my debt. If I keep paying you more, then it's
A gold will be fine. It's a lot
Well, this
for now.
is payment in return for work. I don't believe it alters the contract.
Sure, yeah. Well, what else could I do for you? Actually, I have it. Well, we are actually expecting restock from Weybridge in what day is it? He said it was the 29th, yes? On the 1st of August, we are expecting a delivery from Weybridge to here. We're expecting cheeses. Weybridge is renowned for its cheeses. That is its namesake. The curds and the whey. Perhaps you could assist with the delivery, almost as like caravan guard.
We could do so.
That seems like something that we could we could do. Yes.
Then I could also pay you for. So I would be paying you. It would be a gold per day for your work. Each person, of course. But you would today, if you wish, you could help with cleaning. That would give you a couple days to get to Weybridge. I could give you documentation so that you can get there and say that you are officially working on my behalf and that you are there to assist with the delivery. In case there was, like, I don't know, bandits attack or, I don't know, some kind of danger on the road. And then when you get back, I would pay you for the delivery, the days that you spend doing the delivery to and from Weybridge. When you get back, I don't know. Perhaps there might be more work then. I'll have to have a think. But your best bet is honestly to try and find work in Weybridge. It's a town. It has loads of people. You have old ladies that need carers. You have there is a extremely small what would it be? It's not really a chapel, but like a medical place, like a small like doctor's surgery. You have bars there. You have a few warehouses. They're all cheesemakers, so you could perhaps help with making cheese. You could help with selling cheese, or perhaps, you know, all this other kind of cheesy related stuff. You could perhaps
like Cheese Town, I guess.
You could perhaps get involved with a carpenter. You could get involved with a blacksmith. It's a town. You have loads of people there that would be up for hiring someone for a day at a cheap rate.
And how far away is this town again?
They did say a couple of days walk. And if we at the tavern and tidy up for today, then we can make it there for when the delivery is meant to come back this way.
Yeah, it is 2 days work, and
we could make it there instantly.
That is also true.
Yeah, but you might have to.
How?
You might have to do a bit of convincing.
Oh, but I gave a gift to Melody. Maybe that clears things up?
Sure, you could do that. It seems a bit of a waste though. It's only 2 days walk. You could go anywhere in Terra, pretty much.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Well, we have options.
Perhaps we could just start by helping clean up here for the day, and regroup in the evening and make a new plan. So I said we recommend that if we're going to teleport, we should do it after we've returned from the caravan, because we can get paid for the days that we're walking there. Whereas afterwards, the job will be done.
Oh yeah, see, this one's smart.
Wait, what?
So he's offered to pay for our travel days, but that only counts whilst we're on the job. So if we walk there to help the caravan, he will pay us for the 2 days. If the job is already done, we will be walking for free. So if we do want to teleport, we should do it on the return trip.
Yeah, so that's gonna conclude today's session. It was a long one, but we got there. We got to the end of this part. I've had a great time. I don't know about you guys.
That was good.
Hope you've had fun.
Absolutely hate it.
I enjoyed meeting Hildireth, finally.
Yeah.
I knew about this chick for so long, but I've never actually met her.
So for those of you that don't know, Hildireth is the NPC that is like writing the little herbology handbook that we're writing.
Alright, nice.
She's like the surrogate writer type thing.
Yeah.
Weybridge does have a cheese rolling contest. So if you want to do that, you could.
Is that the one where you just chase a wheel of cheese down a hill?
Yes. Hi, thank you so much for checking out our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and also check out that Patreon button as well. Thank you.